I cannot believe the things that are about to come out of my mouth. I mean, I am disturbed and floored, and I can't even believe that this is being brought to the American people because, quite frankly, and I'm going to put this bluntly, you have been screwed over in the rear end massively by the Democrat Party and rhinos within the Republican Party regarding where your tax-paying dollars are going. We have been funding initiatives and things that you would never agree to, especially considering that we're trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars in debt. And now that Elon Musk is literally going through and auditing these various departments, the Democrats are literally screaming and crying because a lot of their financial, shall we say, money laundering-ish networks, and rhinos, by the way, have been exposed, and they're absolutely livid about it. That's like what the gal said yesterday. If somebody is committing a crime, saying somebody is breaking into a car and a person witnesses it, the Democrats are yelling at Elon, the person who is witnessing the break-in, rather than the freaking guy who is doing the breaking in. Why? Because chances are that the person doing the break-in might have been a Democrat as the driver, so to speak, or the one behind the entire thing. But anyway, there's a lot that I got to share with you because you're about to hear some stuff that you never imagined. But before I do, I got to give a quick shout out to my sponsor here, Noble Gold Investments. Now is the time to diversify. Noble Gold is putting out major alerts, by the way. Market crashes strike fast, and you never know when they're going to hit. So that is why I want to encourage you to be prepared. If you look at prior investors, some of those investors lost up to $600 billion. All of that vanished overnight in seconds. Yes, this has happened before. Well, Noble Gold has helped thousands of people to kind of get your family ready for those financial futures. That's why I want to encourage you, go to lisahaven.gold, fill out that information. They're going to send you a free gold and silver investment guide. And by the way, you can give them a call. They're no hassle dealers. And right now they are giving up to 2 of these 5-ounce silver coins, and I've got kind of half of it that you can see there, with any approved plan. So up to 2 of those with any approved plan. So make sure that you mention my name, but check it out by going to lisahavengold.com. You definitely won't regret it. I partner with them because I wholeheartedly believe in it. But if you want more info, click that more button or click the link in the description box below. All right. And by the way, there's always a risk to investing, never a guarantee. All right. So let's get into some of the crap that is just going to floor you regarding the ludicrous spending in the USAID. And I'm not going to call it USAID because it is not aid. It's USAID. And I say that to be rather bluntly about it. But take a look at this. And this is on the foreignaffairs.house.gov. This is Chairman Mast, and he's exposing the outrageous USAID grants that they've been giving away and all the crazy funding. And it says House Foreign Affairs Committee Chairman Brian Mast released the following video exposing radical far left grants issued by the State Department and the USAID under the Biden administration. So here are some of those grants, again, by the State Department and the USAID. And these are bad, by the way. And I'm really going to go through these because I think it's important. $15 million for condoms to the Taliban through USAID. $446,700 to promote the expansion of atheism in Nepal through the State Department. So they're giving money. If you're a Christian, say a Muslim, a Catholic, a Jew, or whatever, you're paying to make people become atheists. In Nepal, this is insane. $1 million to boost French-speaking LGBTQ groups in West and Central Africa. $14 million in cash vouchers for migrants at the southern border. $20,600 for a drag show in Ecuador. $47,000-ish for an opera in Colombia. $32,000 for LGBTQ-centered comic book in Peru. About $56,000-ish. And I'm going to just round these up to make it faster, for a climate change presentation warning about the impact of climate change in Argentina. And then we have $3,300-ish for being LGBTQ in the Caribbean, $7,000 for being a BIPOC speaker series in Canada. Then we have $80,000 for an LGBTQ Community Center, right, in Slovakia, 3.2 million to help Tunisian migrants adjust to life in Tunisia after they've been deported. 16.5 thousand to foster a united and equal queer feminist discourse in Albania. 10,000 to pressure Lithuanian corporations to promote DEI. There it is. 8,000 to promote DEI among LGBTQ groups in Cyprus. 1.5 million to promote job opportunities for LGBTQ individuals in Serbia. 71-ish thousand to go to an Irish musical to promote DEI. 40,000-ish to host seminars in the Edinburgh International Book Festival on gender identity and racial equality. 2.5 million to build electrical vehicle charging stations, and about 500,000 to help Indonesian coffee companies become more climate and gender friendly through USAID. So USAID and the State Department, which Donald Trump is now putting USAID under the State Department, they have been effing you over in the rear end right up there. And they're saying, whether or not you support these, we're going to use your money to do it. And by the way, they're all radical left policies. It's what makes Democrats. That's what this is all about. Now, mind you, there's people on both sides of the fence on each, but these DEI policies are all about making good little Democrats. And that's not all. I'm about to show you it gets even worse, right? That's just the half of it. Literally, here is more misspending. And this is rapid response number 47. Here he came out and showed a lot more of these. How about 800 million-ish to teach Sri Lanka journalists how to avoid binary gender language? 20 million for a Sesame Street show in Iraq. Excuse me? 4.5 million to combat disinformation in Kazakhstan. 1.5 million for the art of inclusion of people with disabilities. 2 million for sex changes and LGBT activism in Guatemala. 6 million to transform digital spaces to reflect feminist democratic principles. To about 2 million to help the BBC value the diversity of the Liberian society. 10 million worth of fund there to fund meals that went to Al-Qaeda linked terrorists organization. 25 million to promote green transportation in the country of Georgia. 6 million tourism to Egypt. 2.5 inclusion in Vietnam. 16.8 for the separate inclusion group in Vietnam. 5 million Eco Health Alliance. You know, that's linked to the Wuhan Institute of Virology, right? For the Wuhan lab, 20 million there for a group related to a key player in Russia. So the Russiagate impeachment hoax people, a key player in that, got $20 million. Wow. Interesting, right? Thing that turned out to be an entire hoax. 1.1 million to an Armenian LGBT group. Here we have about 1 million to African Methodist Episcopal Church service, state-of-the-art auditorium. About 1.5 million to photographers, 1.5 million, again, LGBT advocacy in Jamaica, to rebuild the Cuban media ecosystem. 1.5, 2 million, promoting LGBT in Latin America. 500,000 to solve sectarian violence in Israel, which, by the way, the Hamas terrorist attacks happened just 7 days after that. But you can see, right? We have all of this. 2.3 million for small-scale gold mining in the Amazon, about 4 million for LGBT causes in the Balkans. Look how much they have of this LGBT stuff, all freaking over the place. And here's 6.3 million for men who have sex with men in South Africa. Do we really want to pay for that? 8.3 million in equity and inclusion to aid education, USAID climate strategy, 150 billion whole of energy approach to going towards that net zero. And they've got the documents and stuff out there to prove it. And I haven't even, again, we're just scratching the surface here. Just scratching the surface. I told you this is like, I can't believe some of the stuff that I just read. And over half of it was to DEI, LGBT initiatives and green initiatives. Pretty much all of it, right? With exception to a few. For you to push their agendas around the world. And a lot of times, by the way, they push these agendas, these activist non-GO organizations get this money. They go out and do as little as they can, right? Democrats put all this money into it. Hey, here you go. The activists do as little as they can, and then those activists donate right back to the Democrats that gave them the money. It's a laundering scheme. And they are pissed about it. And by the way, Politico also benefit off of this. Right here we have Politico. There's the receipt here. And this is on Jason Howerton put this out. And so did a lot of other people. But USAID funds Politico to the tune of $8.1 million. Now, mainstream media has come out and said, this is not happening. It comes from various organizations. Apparently, they claim it's only $44,000 or whatever. I don't care. Money is coming from various government organizations. In fact, let me show you, because the White House came out and basically admitted this was going on with Politico.
And I can confirm that the more than 8 million taxpayer dollars that have gone to essentially subsidizing subscriptions to Politico on the American taxpayers' dime will no longer be happening. The DOJ team is working on canceling those payments now. Again, this is a whole of government effort to ensure that we are going line by line when it comes to the federal government's books. And this president and his team are making decisions across the board on, do these receipts serve the interests of the American people? Is this a good use of the American taxpayers' money? If it is not, that funding will no longer be sent abroad, and American taxpayers will see significant savings because of that effort.
Woo! A freaking man. A freaking man. We can confirm $8 million of taxpayer money has gone to Politico. I don't care what federal government agency it came from. They're stopping the money. One has to think about that for a moment because, Politico was the exact same organization which the Biden campaign and intelligence officials solicited their laptop story to. Oh, these 51 intelligence officials. It's Russian disinformation. Politico came out. Is that a coincidence? Yeah. Crazy, right? Just freaking crazy. Speaking of 8.1 million and funding within various departments, other people, here's Liz Wheeler coming out with a lot more, right? 34.4 from other swampy agencies. And here's some of that information, right? They're showing all these graphs, how much money they're freaking getting. And you can see here, she's got clips, Department of Age, Department of Education. We have different departments there with all these different types and summary of money. And here's another one here. You can see the CDC. Gee, I wonder why there was so much censorship during COVID-19 pandemic. Makes a lot of sense. Makes an awful lot of sense. And by the way, they're paying through subscription services. And there's 37, and here this is Lisa Alexander, 37 users in the FDA for over 500,000. Whoa, are those yearly subscriptions? I wonder. Gee, we only charge $7.99 at full price, but we usually offer a $5 ticket at restricted. But holy cow, 500,000 almost for a subscription. Yearly, I'm hoping. 37 of them, because they want to screw you over in the back. And that is Politico literally screwing you over. This is why we shouldn't listen to anything that they say at all. Oh, and by the way, the New York Times, it has come out that they are receiving money and writers by different government departments. Oh, and by the way, they're all right now out there saying, this isn't true. They're lying to you again. When are these people going to be done with it? Mainstream media, I was looking all over. Politico did not receive $8 million. And then in small print, it's just not from USAID or whatever. Like, I'm tired of the lies. I am so sick of it. None of these organizations. Hey, maybe that's why Politico and New York Times and, all these far leftist groups have survived for so long because our own government was paying for them with your money. It ticks me off. We were paying Politico to push a radical left agenda and put Biden and his administration in a good light, which is exactly what they did over and over and over and over again. Hey, maybe that's why they thought they were going to win the election, because they pretty much owned it everything and had USAID floating all this money around. So they thought there's no way we can lose. The people are still asleep and they're latching onto our every word. And there's a lot of Democrats, by the way, who are pissed off at these people right now, like pissed off at the Democrats. I've watched so many people, so many videos, and there's Democrats coming out saying, you have been lying to me forever. You're taking all my money doing it to causes that we can't afford. If you want to be LGBTQ or whatever, I support you. I support that. Great. Awesome. That's not the point here. The point here is they're mismanaging our money. We don't have it to support that. There's no point in my tax-paying dollars or your tax-paying dollars, any of ours, to go to these freaking causes that have nothing to do with politics. Nothing. Nothing. We're trillions of dollars in debt. We don't have money to waste like that in overseas crap. And they just act like we're just a funnel of never-ending money. Why? Because I believe the entire Democrat goal and some rhino Republicans' goal has always been to destroy us and destroy our freaking country. Why else would you be spending our money so blatantly? Oh, I guess one little caveat is if you're getting a benefit on the side. You know, little Mr. Bernie Sanders came out and was like, I don't accept money from CEOs. Yeah, he does. That was exposed in some of the hearings. He's got some, big pharmaceutical money, right? Ergo, why you're suddenly against RFK. And that's another thing that pissed off the Democrats is, look, they're like, RFK's a Democrat. You should allow him to be on the Trump administration. And what I love about Donald Trump and even RFK, here's what they did. Donald Trump says, hey, RFK, you and me agree on this and this and this. I agree with you on health. I agree with you on this. Why don't we team up where we shine on the things that we agree upon? Why don't we team up and knock that out together? On the things we disagree upon, we'll leave that for another day. We're not going to go there. But if me and you agree on this health thing or whatever, I'm going to put you in charge of it. Common sense, right? But the Democrats can't seem to do that, at least the ones in leadership. I think there are some Democrats who want to work with us within the American public, and they're getting pissed. But the Democrats are, it's Donald Trump and Elon Musk. We can't do anything no matter what it is. No matter what it is. And so they're out there screaming their bloody heads off. Please watch my video that I did yesterday here on YouTube. Red Alert, MAGA Brace for Impact. Democrats just let their true intentions leak out. And they did. And they're literally, I show 3 minutes of them screaming at the top of their heads, threatening to fight us, threatening to basically fight us, to stand down. They're not going to rest, to bring us to war over this USAID funding, which, by the way, is going to all of these nonchalant causes. Why would our leaders want to support that? Oh, one reason, because it births more Democrats. Another reason, money, 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 money. And it's all the typical players on the left. But literally, yesterday's video, they were screaming about it. And today, even more stuff comes out. And I'm like, good grief, how can any Democrat be okay with this? These people are mad because their corruption has been exposed. That's it. And even their protests that they held for this USAID thing were very small because they're losing all their funding for their activism, so to speak. Not even a lot of Democrats came out in support of that, but there sure were quite a few, congressional Democrat radicals out there. Maxine Waters, Nia Pressey, Chucky Schumer, to name a few. All the key players, right? But Democrats are done with them. They're turning up a new leaf and leaving the party. Thank God. Anyhow, wanted to share all of that with you. I love you all. I'm Lisa Haven, signing out.